What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Mattel DC Comics Multiverse Starfire from the Ninja Batman Collect and Connect series. Here we do have Starfire in the packaging. What we're going to do now is take a little break, get her opened up, and then we'll have a better look at the figure inside. So stay tuned, everyone. And so here we have Starfire posing out of the packaging. Before we have a look at the figure, let's actually take a look at what she comes with. Starfire here does come with the head and the cape of the Ninja Batman figure, which we'll have a better look at when he's all put together. As far as accessories for Starfire go, she does come with 2 energy effects, and they look okay. I would have preferred some actual starburst effects, but it's okay. She does get one for her right and her left arm, so there is that. Other than that, Starfire doesn't come with anything else, so let's actually move on to her details. And so here we have a closer look at Starfire, and Mattel actually did a pretty good job with this figure. I'm actually surprised with how nice this Starfire looks. Now, I will say her head does seem a little bit on the small side, but I guess you can say she's an alien, so that kind of makes up for the weird head proportions, although not really. One thing I think this figure does well is the hair. You can see it is a bit of a translucent red plastic with some red paint on it going all the way down into a translucent orange. So I don't know how they did this, but it just looks really good. You can see they did paint right here because that's obviously painted orange. But then we have translucent orange right here at the tip of her hair. And then we also do have some translucent red right up here near the top of her head. So however Mattel did this, they did a good job with her hair, which is surprising seeing as how they're losing the license and you wouldn't expect them to put this amount of effort into a figure, but I do like the way it came out. The face on Starfire is pretty good. It does look like an older Starfire. Gone are the days of Teen Titan Starfire. She's now in the Titans. I believe she's actually in the Justice League Dark as well, but I have to double check that. But Starfire here does look pretty good. And I do like the fact that Mattel went ahead and sculpted a new upper torso for Starfire. Her little gem is actually sculpted, so Mattel actually went the extra mile and actually sculpted something new, which is something you don't expect. Unfortunately, they didn't sculpt any other details on this figure, which I feel that's a huge missed opportunity. They could have sculpted all the silver on her costume, just giving us a little more bang for our buck. They sculpted Poison Ivy, so I don't think it's out of the possibility that they could sculpt it. It's just that they didn't want to. I do like how her silver armbands look good, and then she is wearing these long, dark, purple, fingerless gloves, which do look really good. The fingers are a little bit on the light side. They could have used maybe another coat of paint, especially here on the fist. That fist, the way they painted the fist, it's horrendous. But overall, the paint on her torso looks good. Clean lines, surprisingly. You wouldn't expect Mattel, since they really don't care about the DC license, to paint such clean lines. Yeah, it is a little bit fuzzy right here in the corner, but for the most part, the line work is pretty good. And you can see even on the back, they didn't skimp on the detail. Maybe right up here on her arm where it's a little bit sloppy, but overall they did a good job with the paint. Going on to her legs, you can see she does have her thighs exposed. We do go on to her silver bracers right here on her thighs, which again go into the purple boots, which missed opportunity. Again, they should have sculpted knee pads on her. This is something that if Mattel took the time to do, they could, but unfortunately they didn't. Going all the way down to her feet where she is wearing heels. Now, she was standing pretty well, and she does stand okay for the most part, but being on heels, it does make her a little bit difficult to stand up, so do be aware that if you are posing her, those heels might make it a little bit difficult. But she does have silver tips on her toes. Should be sculpted, but for what it's worth, Mattel did a pretty decent job with this figure. So overall, that's Starfire's details, and Mattel actually did a good job on this figure, so I'm really surprised. So what we're going to do now is actually get it compared to a few other figures you may have in your collection. And so here we have Starfire posed next to a Marvel Legends Black Widow and a DC Multiverse Jessica Cruz. Here we have Starfire posed next to a WWE Elite female figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. And finally, here we have Starfire standing next to fellow Titans member, the DC Multiverse Wally West, and the DC Universe Classics Nightwing. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually run through her articulation. Now, she does have surprisingly good articulation. She does have a ball joint in the head, which she does look up a little bit, but her hair will collide with her backside. She can look down a surprising bit, but the hair is so heavy that it just pulls her head back up. We do get some really slight head tilt. Surprisingly, her head does turn left and right really well. Her hair does do a good job clearing her shoulders, so I do like that. Arms are on a ball joint. They do go out to about that far. They do a full 360, even getting out of the way of the hair, so I do like that. No bicep swivel, but we do have a bend in the elbow, giving us a little less than 90 degrees, and then we do have a swivel right there. We do have a swivel and a hinge at the wrist. We do have a ball joint here at the mid-torso, which does provide back and forward crunch. Very little side rotation, if any, and very little pivot. So you're mainly just going to get a crunch with that movement, which is unfortunate because she doesn't have a waist swivel. Thighs or legs actually do a good job going forward. Go back to about that far. Go out a surprising amount. She does swivel at the thigh, which is a little bit stiff. Double bend in the knee. Works pretty good. We do have a hinge in the ankle, which goes back to about that far, goes forward to about that far, and then we do have rocker ankles on Starfire. So overall, a pretty good figure. Mattel actually did a decent job with Starfire. So what we're going to do now is take a little break, get her posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have Starfire posed for my final thoughts, and surprisingly Mattel did a really good job on this figure. I do feel like her accessories are a little bit lackluster. I would have liked to see some star bolts that actually look like her classic star bolts that, you know, kind of resemble energy blasting out of her hands rather than laser discs. These kind of do look like laser discs. But other than that, I still feel like this is a really solid figure. Mattel did a well job on Starfire. Seeing as how their last Starfire did come out almost, 15 years ago? I think this is a really good improvement on the original figure. Now, she is wearing her updated modern costume, which I'm perfectly okay with. Most of my collection is starting to switch to their modern day costumes. Starfire here is a welcome addition to my collection. I do feel her head is a little bit too small, but again, you can pass that off as her being an alien. If you are looking for a Starfire, I have seen the Ninja Batman series starting to hit stores at the time I'm making this video. I was lucky enough to pick up my Starfire as well as the rest of the Ninja Batman series on Big Bad Toy Store. So if you are looking for a Starfire, check your local Walmarts, Targets, and if you can't find them there, you can always order her online on Big Bad Toy Store. With that being said, guys, I'm King of Dragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other DC Multiverse videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it fits in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.